Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Unpopular Opinions here on the Phoenix Club. Back after a week's break for my travels. Do check out Tom's Travels if you haven't already. And we're going to be back roasting pundits and our favourite followers off of the world of Twitter and having a little talk about their unpopular opinions. And we're going to start with a bit of a regular feature on this show. It's his second appearance. A very entertaining pundit called Chris Sutton. And he was very upset with Brendan Rodgers' switch across the border down into Leicester from Celtic. And he said on BT Sport that Celtic's reserve team is bigger than Leicester City. Have a go at Chris.
No, I don't think that Celtic's first team would even make the championship. I think that they're that bad. But, yeah, I just think that it's so difficult to compare a team that is so dominant in a league that is so weak as the Scottish Premiership, comparing that to a team that won the Premier League only a few years ago. Granted, it isn't the same team now, but I think it's just a ridiculous statement. I mean, obviously, he's got allegiances to Celtic. I think he spent 1 or 2 years at Celtic Park.
And more.
As a player. Was it more as a player?
3 or 4, I think.
I know that he was at Villa and Blues as well towards the end of his season, end of his career, so I'm not overly sure. Anyway, he's obviously got Celtic in his heart to an extent. He obviously feels very strongly about this. But to say that Celtic's reserves are bigger than Leicester, A, is insulting to Leicester, and B, is overstating Celtic's status not only in Scotland but worldwide.
I think his linkage was, and I'm gonna stand up for Scottish football a little bit here.
Really?
I think his linkage to the reserve team is obviously way too extreme. But his point is, I suppose, that Celtic are a Champions League winning side. They've won. They've won.
Yeah, but like 50 years ago. Come on.
They're a historic club, and he looks at Martin O'Neill 20 years ago going from Leicester to Celtic, and he's just upset about Rodgers' lack of loyalty, I suppose.
I think that's more like it, the lack of loyalty.
But I think Celtic, it's an interesting one as to Celtic haven't had the best time in Europe in recent years since they were last under Neil Lennon, where they got to Champions League knockouts. But
even Leicester got further than Celtic.
Yeah, true. No, that is a good point. Chris, I do want to stand up for Scottish football like you. I watch a lot of it when I'm in Scotland, but to say their reserves are bigger than Leicester, sorry, pal. No. But next we're on to another pundit. We're doing 2 pundit segments this week because of the number of dross we've heard. And it's Ian Rush saying that Liverpool in the title race are better off being behind Liverpool and being the chasers on the argument that there's less pressure on them.
Well, there is less pressure on them, but I think if you're a good player, you thrive on pressure at the end of the day. You know, I think Liverpool would rather be 10 points clear than 1 point behind at this stage. Simple as that. It's a stupid statement. Why would you rather be in second?
Also, the fact that you were 7 points clear means that the pressure is still on regardless of where you are, because you're going to get called bottle jobs if you don't win the league anyway, Ian Rush.
It's some kind of psychological mind game. It's something that Ferguson might say but not actually mean. I don't. You would obviously rather be in, especially with 9 games to go, you'd rather be in first than in second, without question.
And you always hear Tottenham fans go, "Oh, we don't win the league because we're never in top spot and we're always in the chasing pack." If you're in an F1 race and there's 10 laps to go, would you rather be in the lead or would you rather be in second?
Exactly.
Oh, sorry, I can't say too long on that because I think it's just so.
I think it's things like this that mean that Liverpool aren't going to win the league for a long time.
Agreed. I completely agree. And next we're on to a good pal of mine, Will Rayner, who's given us a lot of good content, and it's about me and him actually. We're saying that Chelsea fans have been way too reactionary on Sarri in, Sarri out, and his improvement over the last few games perhaps shouldn't be too indicative. But he's saying both of us have been guilty of it, sort of going to Sarri out after losing 6-0. But what do you think, Josh? I want to hear some non-Chelsea opinion on this.
Okay, well, I think football fans in general are very reactionary. Look at Liverpool fans after they dropped points with Everton. They're now in second. Now they're saying Klopp out, he's a fraud, etc., etc. Last week they were saying he's the best manager ever, or words to that effect. So I do think that football fans, yeah, I think by nature football fans are reactionary, but I think Chelsea certainly there. I think it's the how do I word this? It's the mentality that is at Chelsea over the last couple of decades, that it is a hire and fire. If a manager doesn't succeed, you expect the manager's going to get fired. So I think it's almost been bred from that. But look, I as a United fan, I'm very happy that the crap job Sarri's done at Chelsea.
Not crap, no.
You're not in top four. That's not good enough in my opinion. But I do think that with the situation that happened with Kepa, I think it is vital that Chelsea hold on to Maurizio Sarri, because I think that Chelsea need to show who is in charge. And I read earlier today that Roman Abramovich actually wants to get rid of Kepa because of the problems that have happened. So I think that is vital. So I do think that Chelsea fans are reactionary, but I don't think that is specific to Chelsea fans. I think that is just something that is worldwide amongst football fans.
I'll just say, guys, just to shout out, sorry about my work. I did a blog for Chelsea Echo on this. I'll probably give it a couple more shout outs, because my first football blog on why I sort of have changed my tune on Sarri since the Man United home game, and how I think he's improved us a lot in the last few weeks, quite drastically actually, in a way that our last two coaches haven't. And I think he's managed to catch the situation well. I know Josh and I disagree on that. I mean, definitely there's potential for a video there. But I think, yes, we are reactionary, but I think that based on our club in the last few years and the fact that Conte and Mourinho couldn't turn it round, I wasn't expecting Sarri to do so well at turning it round. But on to our last opinion, unpopular opinion here. And it's from Sazio84, from the Chelsea Echo, actually. He's been a good friend of this channel, always retweeting our stuff, which is great. Thanks to you, Sazio. And he says that Kevin De Bruyne is overrated. What do we think, Josh?
I think he is overrated, but I think his role in the City team is understated. Because I don't think he's perhaps amongst the Premier League's elite. As good as I think he is, I still think he has a lot to prove to reach that next echelon, if you like. But I think if we look at how City have done this season compared to last season, I accept there's so many different factors that have meant that City are only 1 point ahead and not the 15 points ahead they were this time last season, whatever the gap was. But there is a denominator, and that's Kevin De Bruyne has been injured for a lot of this season. Maybe they wouldn't have dropped as many points had he been in the squad. Obviously, we don't know. He's a great player. Again, just to, summarise, I think he is a good player, great player, but perhaps not amongst the Premier League's elite at this moment in time, but certainly on his way to achieving that. But let's not forget how pivotal he is to this current City side.
My question would be on him. With a lot of people saying he was the best in the league last season, and he's better than Hazard, better than Salah and stuff. I'm not sure he's in that Hazard, Salah, Kane.
I don't think even Salah's in that realm, to be honest with you.
Is he in that league? I would argue probably not. I think it's good how flexible he is, and Pep can play him a bit further back. But to say, is he the Prem's best? I'm not so sure. Anyway, guys, apologies for the slight delay. We're going to round this episode off here. Thanks for watching. You've had our unpopular roast of the week. I feel much better having vented. I'm sure Josh does too.
Absolutely.
I've been Tom. This has been Josh. And thanks for watching, folks. Enjoy our content.